Thank you for the invitation to be part of World City Summit 2021. As Chairman of the Mayors Committee of Singapore and Mayor of Southwest District, let me extend a warm welcome from Singapore to all the delegates from different parts of the globe tuning in to this first virtual summit of WCS. This year's theme reflects how cities all over the world are having to adapt to multiple disruptions from the COVID-19 pandemic. This present crisis has highlighted the importance of building resilient cities able to ensure sustainable and equitable development despite all the uncertainty we see today. Even as cities deal with the myriad of immediate challenges posed by COVID-19, it is critical to keep focused on the long-term goals for sustainability and to address the growing climate emergency. When the pandemic first struck last year, our city went through a circuit breaker, or a lockdown period of almost 8 weeks. Since then, we have learned to adapt our strategy, innovate, and tackle the pandemic from different fronts. Led by a COVID-19 multi-ministry task force comprising government leaders and health experts, we take a whole of society and whole of government approach to battling the coronavirus. This year, with increased capabilities and innovations, we have avoided a full shutdown. Instead, we are pursuing a more aggressive test, trace, and vaccinate strategy. We are testing and contact tracing more widely and extensively, and ramping up vaccination across all age groups. We hope to offer every eligible person at least the first dose of the vaccine by end of August. Some of the innovations that has helped us step up our game against the pandemic include the Trace Together app and token, breathalyzer tests, 3D printed nasopharyngeal swab, and the use of nucleic acid kit for faster results. The government's use of an official WhatsApp channel to broadcast updates on the COVID-19 situation helped to provide the public with clear and accurate information, which is critical during a crisis. Innovations like this arm us with ammunition to battle COVID-19. It gives us the power to regain a closer to normal life. Last year, the Singapore government introduced 5 budgets amounting to $100 billion, which represents 20% of our GDP, to buffer the economy from the shock of the pandemic, save jobs, help businesses tide over the crisis, pivot to new areas, and develop fresh capabilities for the future. In addition, our city-state adopted multi-pronged strategy to strengthen our supply chain resilience across national, industry, and enterprise levels. To mitigate the risk of supply disruptions, we diversified our import sources, kept contingency stocks, and revved up domestic production of goods where possible, such as food and surgical masks. We have also made advances in digitalizing our supply chain ecosystem. More than 50 industry partners and government agencies came together to develop a common data infrastructure, which will enable more secure and trusted data exchange across the value chain. This public-private collaboration is one of the many Singapore Together Alliances for Action we have started, which enable diverse groups of interested partners to unite and co-create solutions together. Singapore's Community Development Councils, or CDC, was started in 1997 to strengthen bonding and enhance social cohesion within local communities. Over the years, the CDCs have played an important part in serving the needy, uplifting lives, and strengthening social resilience. This role is even more important than ever during a pandemic. As the Mayor of Southwest District, I lead the Southwest CDC to complement the government's work in supporting local community needs-driven projects. I have had the chance to see how lives are changed and uplifted through the efforts of ordinary men and women. The CDC brings together talents, skills, and resources of individuals and companies for the benefit of the community. What keeps me going is the positive impact, however big or small, tangible or intangible, that the CDC is able to make through its role as an aggregator, builder, and connector of communities, organizations, and networks to co-create solutions that tackle our city's urgent and emerging needs. At the local level, we have 5 CDCs supporting vulnerable residents who are likely to be hardest hit by COVID-19. We work closely with social service agencies and community partners in over 100 CDC local assistance schemes and programs. To defray the cost of living for residents and support local businesses affected by the pandemic, we rolled out a national CDC voucher scheme in June last year and January this year. It benefited close to 700,000 households and supported about 8,000 local merchants and hawkers. On the job front, the CDCs are helping our people stay relevant and employable by conducting career advice workshops and virtual events such as SkillsFuture at CDC. These platforms provide Singaporeans with jobs opportunities, industry insights, career development skills, and tips to future-proof themselves. Our social resilience and cohesion are key stabilizers for our city and communities in the new normal created by COVID-19. The CDCs will continue to foster and strengthen our people as we seek to build a better future despite the challenges of COVID-19. Even as we adapt and innovate to overcome the pandemic disruptions, we are keeping our eyes fixed on tackling long-term challenges like climate change and sustainability. As a small island city-state, Singapore faces constraints and trade-offs in our pursuit of sustainability and climate action. However, we are determined to contribute to global efforts to address these urgent needs. Last year, Singapore was among the first 20 countries to submit our enhanced 2030 nationally determined contribution and long-term low-emissions development strategy. This year, we have launched our Singapore Green Plan 2030 to rally bold and collective actions from Singaporeans and partners from all sectors to co-create solutions for sustainability. This will strengthen our efforts to implement the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the Paris Agreement. The Green Plan comprises 5 action pillars that sets ambitious and concrete targets for the next decade. First, creating a city in nature. We aim to create greener and more livable homes for our people. We will add even more greenery and green spaces and further integrate nature into our urban environment. Second, promoting sustainable living. We seek to make reducing carbon emissions and energy conservation a way of life. We hope to halve emissions by 2050 and achieve net zero emissions as soon as viable thereafter. Third, achieving an energy reset. We will use cleaner energy and increase energy efficiency to lower our carbon footprint. Fourth, Singapore will also grow our green economy and equip our companies and people with the skills to seize new green growth opportunities. Fifth, building a resilient future. We will strengthen Singapore's food security by growing local produce in a resource-efficient and sustainable way. Our lofty goal is to meet 30% of our nutritional needs locally by 2030. Since the pandemic struck early last year, we have been through many ups and downs. But what has kept our city united and strong It's our common goal and belief that we can emerge stronger and better from this crisis. While the challenges have been unprecedented, our response is anchored on our Singapore DNA of grit, determination, and a can-do spirit to overcome no matter the odds. From innovating to adapting and co-creating new solutions, we look forward to turning this crisis into opportunities that will set us on higher ground. As we navigate the road ahead, we are determined to build a green and sustainable future where fresh possibilities for our city continue to bud and blossom.